So it's a bit more of a laid back one tonight. I never usually do this at night. I'm having my coffee in my Ginger Mouse mug. I can't speak. It's a busy weekend, I've just realised. Isaac's away on a scouting trip this weekend, so we have to get lots prepared, and it's snowing and they're going to walk up in the Mourne Mountains. I don't like the sound of that. So I'm sorry for waffling. I forget myself and I think I'm on my vlog. I think I'm just talking crap, but well, what's new? What's new, folks? So what I watched this last week, there's not much, so I forgive a bit of waffle. So on the 28th, I watched a movie that I remember Shawn from Lost in the Rail, the lovely Shawn, talking about ages ago, called Mona Lisa and the Blood Moon. Now, I've had my eye out for this to sort of like see when it was available to watch, and it finally became available in February. So do not look in her eyes. A young woman with psychokinetic powers breaks out of a Louisiana asylum and makes her way to New Orleans, where she falls into the city's netherworld of misfits and miscreants. I've never heard that word in my life before. miscreants, miscreants. There you go, I've learnt something new today. So I really enjoyed this. I gave it a 3 out of 5. The young girl that's in this, should I try this? Jong Sho. Oh, Lisa, you just shouldn't have bothered. Kate Hudson's in this as well. Ed Skrein, Evan Whitten. I really enjoyed this. It's a decent little movie. It's got really interesting characters. It's really immersive. Kate Hudson's character is fantastic in this. And you know what? 3.5. It deserves a 3.5. I'm going to give it a 3.5. I did really enjoy that one. So that's Mona Lisa and the Blood Moon. It's not going to be for everyone. It's not massively fast paced, but it's a really nice little movie. It's different, it's quite unique, it's quite original, and I enjoyed it. It's worth it for the lead performance alone. She's really, really good. And Kate Hudson plays a really interesting character as well. So what have I been watching? Why have I not watched very many movies? I've been watching loads of stuff. There's been a horrendous situation over here in the UK with a woman that went missing called Nicola Bulley. If you're in the UK, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm not going to do a video about it because YouTubers and TikTokers are getting a really hard time. This woman went missing and she was found, her body was found 3 weeks after she went missing. I won't go into any details, but it's really mysterious. It doesn't make much sense. There's a lot of information that hasn't been shared with the public. And I've been watching a lot of videos and reading a lot about it because it's intrigued me. And I think I've been watching people's live streams about it as well, where they're talking about it and information that maybe hasn't been released to the media that other people have found out. And I think that's why I haven't watched that much this week, but it's a really intriguing case. Anyway, let's get to what I have watched this week. The waffle is strong in this one. A Man Called Otto, finally. So I've been wanting to see this one. I also now want to see A Man Called Ove, the original one. So this is the wonderful Tom Hanks, who anyone that knows me knows I'm a massive fan of. So, fall in love with the grumpiest man in America. So, I'll not read the little bit. This basically follows Tom Hanks as an older man. He has lost his wife. He has lost sort of the joie de vivre. He doesn't really want to be here anymore. He's grumpy about everything. He's got very specific checks that he does every day in his little neighbourhood area. He doesn't like anyone doing anything outside of what they should be, things being left in the wrong place, gates not being closed. He's obsessed with this kind of thing, which really in a way seems to be like something that he feels like he's doing because he doesn't have a sense of purpose anymore because his wife's no longer with us, and at the beginning of the movie he retires. That's not spoilers, that's just right at the start of the movie. So this movie is what the tagline says. It slowly makes you fall in love with his character. A family move in opposite the road to him, and the woman, the wife, the mother in the family is just a wonderful character. The whole family is, but we mainly concentrate on the mother, and she really knows how to deal with Otto. She knows how to get through to him. She opens up a bit of humanity in him, and he perhaps looks around and realizes that maybe things aren't so bad after all. He feels useful. He feels he has a purpose. He feels he's helping in some way. And the relationship is beautiful. I do not care to admit to you, I cried at this one. It's just a beautiful film. The kids get really attached to him. A lot of people have said that the movie's quite drab, it's quite colourless, which it is kind of ironic in a way. The kids, when they draw, always draw Otto in colour. He's like always bright and vivacious in comparison to everything else, which sort of belies maybe his real character or what he's shown to them, which is interesting. I thought it was a beautiful movie. It was really heartfelt. It was really moving. It was really sincere. It felt real. It felt like something that really could happen. And I love Tom Hanks. The man can do very little wrong for me. I will not mention the accent in Elvis, but other than that, I love Tom Hanks. I really want to see the original, A Man Called Ove. I gave it a 4 out of 5, that one. I really enjoyed that. Kind of knew I would, but yeah. So the next one was a recommendation from Sin, from Sin's Corner. This is Warrior. Now this is a movie I hadn't seen. We were talking on a recent stream on Mike's channel, did you see that? About, I think, sporting movies, and Sin had said she wasn't a big fan of sporting movies, but this movie in particular she loved. So this is a, they call it MMA fighting. So family is worth fighting for. The youngest son of an alcoholic former boxer returns home where he is trained by his father for competition in a mixed martial arts tournament. So yeah, MMA. A path that puts the fighter on a collision course with his estranged older brother. So the main actors we have here is Joel Edgerton, Tom Hardy, Jennifer Morrison, Frank Grillo, Nick Nolte. I'll leave it at that, there are more. So Tom Hardy is training. He's getting his dad, Nick Nolte, to train him. He doesn't have the best history or relationship with his father, but he wants to train to compete in this competition, and his dad is the best at what he does, so he wants his dad to train him. He also has a brother. There's a situation and a reason why he's estranged from his brother, but his brother is a very unassuming teacher, lovely guy, just salt of the earth kind. He's got a wife. Has he got kids, or is he expecting a child? He's got kids. He's got 2 kids. But through one reason and another, he's very short in cash. He needs money, and he used to be a fighter himself, and he finds that the only way he can make money is to fight. And as that said that I read out to you, this sets the brothers on kind of a collision course where they're gonna intersect at some stage. So that's all I'll tell you about the story. Sin did say this was a much more than a movie about fighting, and oh my god, is it? This is a really complex movie about relationships between father and son, about forgiveness, about culpability, about taking responsibility, about addiction. It's a very moving movie. You really feel like you get properly into the psyche of the characters. It's one of those movies where, if you ever watched a movie where you see 2 sides of something and you don't quite know what side you're rooting for, it's like that. We see these 2 brothers and they have contrasting situations, but you really want both brothers to succeed. You want both brothers to be okay at the end of this. Tom Hardy plays a character that's actually probably quite hard to like. He's very morose, he's very serious, he's a very damaged individual, but it's very clear why that's the case as the movie goes along. It's a fantastic movie, and it's one I'd never seen. It's one I was never aware of. It wasn't even a case of thinking, oh, this isn't for me and not watching it. But when I heard Sin talk about it in such a personal way that she talked about it and how she related to it, I really wanted to see this one, so I watched it this past week. And she's very right, it's an excellent movie. I give that one a 4 out of 5. Really well worth checking out, although I would imagine most of you have probably already seen that, but if you haven't, please do check out Warrior. It is from, what year? I think it was 2011. Yeah, 2011 movie with Tom Hardy. Okay, the next movie was Creed 2. Obviously I've watched this in preparation to hopefully get to see Creed 3 at some stage. So I think I saw this one before, but we know, if you know me, my memory, I've seen Creed, really enjoy Creed. I really do like Michael B. Jordan for so many reasons. So obviously Sylvester Stallone's in this one. He's not in the new movie, which is a real shame. So there's more to lose than a title. Between personal obligations and training for his next big fight against an opponent with ties to his family's past, Adonis Creed is up against the challenge of his life. And it's exactly what you would expect. There's this big massive fight coming up. The person he's fighting is related to someone that has impacted his life in a massive way with relation to his father. We have Rocky really trying to help him and maybe not wanting to get 100% involved. Obviously Rocky is the best at what he does, And if this character is going to stand any chance, he's going to need Rocky there by his side training him, because he's the best at what he does. Rocky's not entirely sure he wants to do that. I will say it's such a shame that he's not going to be in the new movie. I do enjoy the Creed movies. I think they're really well done. They're really interesting. The acting's very good. The fight scenes are really well done. They're riveting. You really get into it. You find yourself shouting along when they're fighting, when he's not got his guard up, or when something happens, you get really invested in the movie. But there's just something for me about the Rocky franchise that just wins this one over. I don't know if it's Sylvester Stallone, what quite it is, but for me, the heart and the background of the first few Rocky movies. I enjoy all the Rocky movies, don't get me wrong. I've seen all of them. I enjoy every one of them. But those first few Rocky movies, especially the first one, maybe it's an age thing, maybe it's a nostalgia goggles thing, but for me, the Creed movies are never going to rival the Rocky movies. But I do enjoy them and I would recommend it. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. I did really enjoy that one. I would give Rocky probably 4.5 out of 5. It's pretty close to a perfect movie, Rocky. I just love it. The whole underdog story of Rocky, love it. So yes, that's it. The other two things I've watched here are this week. Just as a little sneak peek to next week, I watched Unwelcome, and I watched a documentary on the MH370 mystery of the lost flight. That's a 3-parter. I watched that last night, really interested. So that is it, guys, for this week. I've managed to get this done without the cuff going off again, which is, I don't know how I've done it. I've been watching true crime stuff. I've been trying to watch some live streams on YouTube that I always miss. They're just really fun to get involved with, so I've been trying to watch some more of those. I'm behind on so many things, it's ridiculous. I have emails coming out my ear holes on Facebook and even on Instagram, and I'll just tell you this in case you're watching, if you wonder what happened with my Instagram. I just had so many emails and messages on so many platforms. I don't have Twitter either because I just don't have time. And with Instagram and with Facebook, I wasn't checking my Instagram messages for weeks. And then somebody would be like, I've been messaging you and you're not answering. It's like, I felt like so rude. And then I thought, I can't handle all these emails. So I just completely shut my Instagram down. But then it occurred to me, there's a few people, Kermit's Ghost, people that, Joe from Geeky Hijinks, people that don't really use Facebook much or don't have a Facebook at all. And I would have no contact with them. It's like, I need to have a way to have contact with these few people. So I did set up like a personal one. It's called Ceramic Penguin, which is from Misery, if you didn't know. So it's not really a channel, Instagram, it's just one for me to keep in touch with people. But just know, if you email me on there, I don't look at my emails an awful lot. On Facebook, I try to, but again, I have emails in there that are 3 months old that I haven't read yet. It's not, oh, I'm so popular, there's all these emails. It's not like that at all. It's just when you have 20 emails and you go through and you read them and you reply, and then the people all reply to you right away, you've got 20 emails again. And it's like, it's so hard to reply to everything. I know I've addressed this before, I just want to explain to you. If you email me and it takes me ages, please don't take it personally. I'm just really busy. I help care for my parents. My parents have both different levels of disabilities. I've got a son, I'm involved in that. My own health's not fantastic, so I don't get masses of time. I know a lot of other people are very sort of on the ball and they're straight back to you. That's the reason I'm not. I'm just busy, folks. It's just as simple as that. There's never anything personal. I just wanted to explain that because I feel guilty so often when I look at my emails and I think, I just can't. I'll maybe get time to reply to one of these and no more, and it just goes unanswered, and it's a flipping nightmare. I do apologise. I know I'm awful. But anyway, that's what I've been watching this week, guys. Next week, I'm hoping to get to... If I didn't talk so much crap, we wouldn't have this going off. Now, I'm going to tell you. I've got a blood pressure monitor, folks. My blood pressure's high. I'm going to tell you when this gets the pain level that when you go to the doctors to have your blood pressure taken and the cuff gets tight, I'm going to tell you when it's at that stage that you would have at the doctors. Right, I would say about now. It's uncomfortable now. Yet it keeps going. And it keeps going. And it gets to the stage that you think your fingertips are going to burst and your blood's going to come out. It's horrible. It's still going. And I feel like my arm's going to burst in a minute. Right, it stopped. Hi, Sister Darren. this is going to give me bloody high blood pressure, wondering when it's going to stop inflating. So yes, there's that. So anyway, this weekend I am going to see Scream. I want to see Creed at some stage. The one I want to see more than any other is 65, but it's a 12A and my son really wants to see it and he's away this weekend with Scouts. So I probably won't get it, even though I'm desperate to see it. I want to see Cocaine Bear was the other one. I haven't seen it yet. It's still on at the cinema, so I'll probably go see Cocaine Bear. Champions is the other one. So that's 4 I really want to see. Cocaine Bear, Champions, Scream 6 and 65. Creed 3 I do also really want to see, but it's probably bottom of that list of preference of what I want to see. So hopefully this weekend, given that my son's away for the weekend, I will be able to check out Scream and I want to see 65. Scream and Cocaine Bear. I'll probably leave 65 so we can see it with him when we can, and Champions. I have heard it's enjoyable, but wait for streaming. But it does really appeal to me. I do really want to see that one. Although I have heard it's a remake of a Spanish movie, which is much better, I've heard, so that's maybe worth looking into. So even though I haven't watched much this week, folks, I have waffled. As I always waffle. I hope my coffee hasn't gone cold. I've waffled so much. That needs to go in the microwave. Right. Thank you for listening, for watching, folks. And I shall get this up. Hopefully you'll be seeing this on Friday. If you see it on Friday, then I did get it done the next day. I'm now going to go and watch some waffle on TV. Don't know what yet. Let's go and check out what there is. And I'll check in with you guys next week. Over and out from Lisa Lives.